It's your boy Ari, and I went from being a broke teenager in college, not having a dime to my name, to now in my 20s being a multiple seven-figure seller on Amazon. If I had to start from zero, that means I woke up and I had none of my resources, none of my capital, and I had to make $1 million in 12 months. This is exactly what I would do. Now, this is a real strategy. I'm not going to tell you guys to go any crypto, trading, bullshit, Forex, none of that. This is a real strategy on how to build a real business. First things first is you're going to need a job. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you got a phone to watch this shit, you already have one. If not, that's going to be the first thing you need to do. I would recommend people either work for a small startup company or work under an entrepreneur. This way, instead of having to deal with some manager that is barely making more than you, you actually have access to somebody that's in a position where you want to be. Proximity is power. The more you surround yourself with people, you start learning their habits, you start seeing how they deal with money. That's when your whole mindset will start to shift, because before you make the income shift, you need to make the mindset shift. That is, to this day, he's a very successful Amazon seller. He actually started his journey working at a 3PL. And then for those of you that don't know, a 3PL basically means a third-party logistics company. This means they fulfill orders for Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, Whatnot, Walmart, eBay. The list goes on. But my friend started working at this 3PL, and it was there that he started to really learn how the system worked. Packing, labeling, shipping, skills that you're gonna need to have when you start selling on Amazon. Why I say and I recommend people work with a 3PL is because, like my friend, he was able to actually use those resources and the knowledge that he gained. So just to sum everything up, the most important thing, obviously, is you're going to get a job. Hopefully it's with a 3PL, so you'll be able to use the resources like we talked about, even finding distributors. There's times where you can find, where is this package going? Where's this package coming from? That can be somebody that you could potentially get products from. So it's all about being resourceful, no matter what position you're in. Being able to connect the dots, being able to know what you're looking for. So once you're making some money from your job and you have a stable income, the first thing you're gonna need when to start selling on Amazon is an Amazon Seller Central account. Why you need a job is because just starting out, you're gonna need at least $40 a month to invest into a professional seller account. You could start your Amazon account under your personal credentials, that's fine, and eventually go back and add all your business information later. We're gonna get into why you should do that. But if you just want to sign up, starting with your personal is perfectly fine. Now, with that $40 a month, you now have access to 150 million people on Amazon ready to buy product. Like even you yourself, I guarantee you in the last 30 days, you probably bought something off Amazon. I know I did. One of the biggest things that I hear people say is, yeah, I've heard about Amazon businesses before. I've heard about people selling on Amazon. Isn't it oversaturated? And this is one of the biggest lies people will tell you about this business. Our particular business is we're not doing something like private label, which can be seen as a little bit oversaturated depending on the product, of course. Something like cosmetics, there's a million brands that sell the same type of lipstick or the same type of makeup, but that isn't at all what we're doing. In order for you to compete with a brand like L'Oreal, which good luck, but if you're looking towards to doing that, I'm not gonna hate on nobody. That's gonna take a lot of upfront capital. That's gonna take thousands of dollars to pour into marketing, pour into, what box, what color, all this different stuff that beginners typically won't have the resources to be able to do. What we do is we are already selling brands that millions of people are buying every day. Like, I'll give you an example. Go in your kitchen, bathroom, anywhere right now. I guarantee you find maybe Dove, Axe, Bounty paper towels, Dr. Bronner's soap, anything like this. This is the market that we're going after. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're selling branded products that millions of people are buying a month already. And the best part about it is, in order to secure a lot of these products, you don't need a lot of capital up front. $100 to $300, $400 will be perfect for just getting your feet wet in the business and getting some sales. But now that you've gotten a job, you're able to open your Amazon seller account, whether that be professional or individual. At this stage, it doesn't matter, but we'll get into when you'd want to switch. And now we've spoken about the type of business that you're going to be getting into. The biggest thing now that at least I recommend is find somebody to watch. Find somebody that is successful in the business, already selling, and is producing content to help people learn. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be biased and say watch my content, not only because I helped a whole bunch of students already build and scale their Amazon store. I mean, fuck with your boy, why not? But regardless of who, you definitely need to be watching somebody and learning from somebody that is in the business and selling and doing it. So now that you have all the tools necessary to start selling, this is the framework that you're gonna follow to start getting some sales. You're gonna find local retail discount retailers near you. I'm talking about Walmart, Target, Ross, Marshall, any retail store or that usually has a lot of discounted goods. You're also gonna want a tool called Seller Amp. It costs around $40 a month, but this will be key in deciding not only what products you're ungated for that you can sell, but what products is gonna bring you the most profit, ROIs. How's it selling? How many times is it selling a month? These are numbers that are gonna be important that you're gonna have to consider if you wanna really be profitable in this business. The reason I recommend Seller Amp because it automatically calculates fees, whether you're doing FBA or FBM, how much Amazon will take, shipping, all of that, and gives you the flat numbers for profit, what will be deposited into your account. So I recommend a lot of beginners use this tool so they get a real insight into how much money they can actually make in this business. One of my favorite retailers that I tell a lot of my students starting out to go to is Ollie's. If you have an Ollie's near you, I would recommend going into Ollie's and using Seller Amp and just scanning. It might take 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 products for you to scan to find that one. My thing when I started selling was I'm not leaving the store until I find either something I can sell or I scan at least 100 products. So that should just show you kind of like the mindset you're gonna have to have if you really wanna build your store out and find profitable products. Ollie's isn't the only one. I recommend it because it's one of the easiest ones to use, but just go on Google, like search up local wholesalers, distributors, local discount stores near me. Anywhere you can go find a deal and you're able to scan some products and see what you can sell, go over there and find it. Talk to people, go to the stores, start being friendly, build relationships so they know your face. A lot of the times, even with Ollie's, they'll let you in the back to see different products, and none of that would be possible if you don't take that initial first step. You can be friends with the manager, and that isn't even for Ollie's, at any of these discount places, and get deals first if you're buying in bulk. Whatever the case may be, you need to put yourself in a position to win. I tell you guys why you should at least scan 100 products a day if you're going into these discount stores is because all it takes is one product. You find that one product that you're already auto-ungated for and it sells 1,000 times a month and you're having an incredible price on it. If you didn't take the time to actually find that product, if you gave up on the 99th one you scanned, it might be that 100 product. There's been times where it's like, I'm about to walk out the store and I'm like, you know what, let me scan this real quick. This looks like a good product. And then boom, I'm auto-ungated. So it really is a mindset thing. If you're not the type of person that's willing to stick through the suck and put in the time, blood, sweat, and tears to actually put yourself in a better position, because I'm telling you, nobody's gonna come save you. There's no magical fairy that's gonna come down like, you know what, you've been working really hard, you deserve $1 million. No, you have to be the person to do that for yourself. So if you're not willing to do that, you're going to be stuck in the same place you've always been for your whole entire life. Look at FedEx. Look at FedEx. Stay right there, sir. Stay right there, sir. What the fuck you on, bro? He probably picking up my packages right now. that doesn't only go for products as well. I tell people it's the same with distributors. A lot of the times people will stop at one distributor. You need to go to multiple. Everyone in your area within a 10 mile, 20 mile, 30 mile radius, you know? A lot of the times it takes that one supplier for you to find a profitable product that you can get consistently, just turn from $2,500 to $5,000 to $10,000 months. It's really just that one product. You have an Amazon seller account, you found a distributor, you found products that you can sell. Now what? Now it's deciding how you're gonna fulfill those products. So the cool thing about Amazon is there's two ways your customers can get their products, either through FBA and FBM. FBA means fulfilled by Amazon. So what you'll be doing is you'll be sending your products in bulk to Amazon and they'll be fulfilling it for you, making it a much more passive business. This is how you can be in Fiji, Bora Bora, and all these other places and still getting seller notifications on your phone. FBM stands for fulfilled by merchant. In this case, that'll be you. This is where you're doing the packaging, the shipping, dropping it off at the post office. You know, it's a whole operation, a one-man operation on your front. For me, it really depends on whether I'll do FBA and FBM. At the scale I'm operating at now, I already have a warehouse, I have employees, so it's easier for me to fulfill things myself. But a lot of times, depending on the weight or the fees, I might consider doing FBA. For beginners, I recommend, if you're just getting your feet wet, it's not bad to be fulfilling yourself just to understand how the system works. But once you start to get a little bit more volume and you're able to scale, FBA will allow you to free up your time, which can go into finding better products, deals, distributors, and whatnot. Hey, whatnot. Now, another one of the biggest things when it comes to scaling on Amazon is OPM, which stands for other people's money. If you're in a situation where you know you can make a certain amount of money selling, let's say 2,000 units of a certain product, and you just don't have the capital to put up for it, this is where credit funding becomes pivotal in your scalability in Amazon. So at this point, it will be important that you incorporate. You're gonna wanna get an LLC. Every state has their own Secretary of State. It costs maybe $50 to $100 to incorporate, and you can get your EIN number for free from the IRS after you incorporate. The biggest thing now is getting a business bank account, because now when you attach that to your Amazon store, you want to be showing consistent sales, consistent deposits, and consistent payouts. You want to show the bank, hey, look, I have a real business, I'm doing consistent sales, and I'm making consistent profits month by month. Once you're able to prove to the bank that you are a real business and you're consistently profitable, this is when you're going to be able to get access to different types of funding. So a lot of banks, for example, like Bank of America, have these business accounts, which basically allows you to either grab a line of credit or a business credit card, which a lot of times has 0% APR for the first 12 to 24 months. Basically free money. This is an invaluable tool because now you will basically use the OPM method, other people's money. You're not putting any of your own capital up front. So we're going to be using the OPM, the other people's money method. You will be able to, instead of leveraging your own capital, use that, make the money off it, and within 30, 45 days, however long the Amazon payout it takes, you can now pay off the debt, rinse and repeat, and do it again. Once you have access to these business accounts, it's important that you use the resources and tools available. Hit up your business banker. They're there for a reason. They get paid for a reason. They will be able to provide you with information on how you can better utilize your credit. Also, give them more insight into what your business is, you know? That way, it kind of preps them to how best help you and get access to the funding that you can need to scale. So to recap everything, at this point, you're incorporated, you're able to get your EIN from the IRS, and you're able to plug it into your Amazon account. So now we have consistent sales going into a business account that is connected to your Amazon. You're showing consistent profits, you're showing consistent sales, you're able to get approved for a credit card, hopefully 0% APR, 12 to 24 months, And now you're really actually able to scale and get into the 5-6 figure territory. So even if it's not Bank of America, there's a lot of different banks and credit unions you can use, whether it be Chase, Amex, Truist, it's endless where you'll be able to get money. And also, it's important you build a relationship with these bankers. Your business banker will be able to provide you guys with a lot of sauce and a lot of value. They'll tell you the different strategies and things you can implement to get the most funding. So for example, with me, I had a Chase credit card with a $60,000 limit that initially for the first 2 years, I had 0% APR. So with that, I was able to make a year's salary just leveraging my credit. A lot of people will go take that money and spend it on Gucci, Louis, YSL, all this other shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to shop, but it be the broke people buying this shit. With me, the biggest thing, especially getting access to funding and all this, was how can I make the most off of it? How can I double, triple, and quadruple my money? So just to give a little recap, I hope y'all were taking notes, but I'm gonna recap it nice and neat for you. You're gonna wanna get a job. If you don't already have a job and you got an iPhone watching this, that's crazy, but I'm not judging. Get a job, preferably at a 3PL, so you can start using these resources and learning. Once you get a job, you need to get your Amazon seller account, $40 a month. Cancel your DoorDash subscriptions, cancel your Netflix and all that other shit. Y'all would rather spend that $40 a month on HBO, but not on an Amazon seller account that you can actually start making money on and change your life. After you get your seller account, get in the field. Get Seller Amp, start scanning these products. I gave y'all a gem right there, Ollie's. There's all these other discount stores that you guys can Google. Discount wholesalers, distributors all around you. Get in the field, start scanning, start finding out what you can sell. Not only what you can sell, what is the best products for you to sell. Once you get a little litany of different products you're allowed to, now you can do the math and see, all right, where am I gonna make the most profit? Now you've gotten your feet wet, you're making a little bit of sales. We went over FBA and FBM. Depending on where you're at with your business, it's up to you to really decide which one will be the best and most profitable for you. And now you're wanting to scale. We went over getting the credit funding, being able to have access to 0% APR credit cards for 12 to 24 months, something that can really give you that boost. So now you can start making yearly salaries every month. So once you have all of those things, maybe one day your business could end up looking like this. I mean, we're pulling up to the warehouse now. So those were just the things that I would do if I woke up yesterday and everything was gone and I had to start from zero in 12 months to get to $1 million. I tell people all the time, I'm only 24 years old. Like, it was only a couple years I was broke as fuck working at a gas station, didn't have shit to my name. Anybody that's watching this video right now, I guarantee you probably weren't in a worse position than me. I was making $300-400 a week. If I can sit in this type of car in front of my warehouse and say that I was able to do these types of things just by using the resources around me, none of you guys watching this video have any excuse not to get after it. If a little dumbass like me could do all this shit, I'm telling you, there's nothing stopping any of you guys. I hope this video gave you guys the necessary push to realize that being broke is a mindset. It's really what you allow for yourself. If you took the time to actually go after it, and actually achieve the life you want for yourself, all this could be possible. But with that being said, I got a lot of shit to do. I just pulled up to the warehouse. I'm going to go handle that. It's been your boy Aristotle, and I'm out this bitch.